loudspeaker spoke up and said,
Greetings from just off Orwell Lane. Often, it would seem, especially as of late, that our hallowed memories are weaponized and commercialized against us. Whether that be the transmutation of a G.I. Joe character, cut up and pastiched across the two-dimensional action movie that jumps from one explosion to another, or a retooled woke variant of a Western classic that epitomizes nothing other than the vapid well of the haunted hills of production studios, helmed no longer by cigar-chomping executives of theatrical companies, but instead by investment banking conglomerates that only seek to sweet ESG investment money, the final product be damned. Disappointingly, such transitional forays into fiduciary reasoning do not end at the doorstep of just the remains of those halcyon days of the studio system during the golden age of Hollywood. Avarice and folly find themselves firmly lodged in those old crone of artistes that crumpled with age weighing heavy on their shoulders and nigh on decades of praise, well earned, or in many cases not, and following years of being propped up for marginal successes, or more likely, ego-bursting failure. They look back at a catalog of quote-unquote wins to relieve, as Springsteen put it, stories of the glory days. It is at this crossroads, Roberts Johnson's infamous deal with the devil aside, where those here just off Orwell Lane recently discovered none other than the perennial favorite John Carpenter, who, disappointingly, in a recent interview, highlighted herein from Bloody Disgusting, from an interview with THR, spoke about his wanton desire to see a sequel or a continuation of The Thing. Within context, it is not much of a harbinger of the consternation of repetitive reboots and reimagining, or, God forbid, a J.J. Abrams lens-flare, flettish Uber IMAX summer retread of a decades-old product previously referenced. As Carpenter, here was being queried as to which of his films from his catalog he would like to see within the context of the question. What this frames, and why this in particular I choose to offer some thoughts upon, is something that has been at the heart of this channel, active or inactive through its many variants and failures to launch, that eventually led to its current form. Clickbait is the fuel that drives the knee-jerk reaction to the claws of reality of the full sentence of truth. Outrage and negativity are the tenors upon which most act as conductors, hanging their woven song upon for screed after repetitive screed. Whether it's to the tune of bagpipes, a drum, or yet another 37-second intro that reminds me to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, the format is the same. It's something that I simply don't prefer to do here, so instead I'll be focusing on the things that I love. Pulp-era stories and collections, hard-boiled detective mysteries, the classic era of comics that initially caused so much adoration to build around the medium, and the indie scene, where some of the most dynamic books are being created currently. In other words, I'm going to choose to focus on positivity. With all that said, I do highly suggest you check out John Campbell's novella, Who Goes There?, which inspired the 1951 The Thing from Another World, which in turn would be remade by Carpenter in 1982 as The Thing. While I think this particular question and the response to its answer by Carpenter was an indirect attempt to reboot interest in the 2020 Universal Blumhouse Studios version of The Thing to try to reignite interest, I think McCready said it best with regards to any possible sequel of 1982's The Thing, whether Carpenter wants it or not, so I shall leave you with that.
What do we do?
Why don't we just wait here for a little while? See what happens.
I am Aldous on the Farm. Thank you for watching.